We're taking on Nashville Super Speedway Music City here this weekend as we all race for the guitar now in the Cracker Barrel 400 this weekend as we continue to seek our first win in the NASCAR Cup Series for now a points race because, well, last episode we did win the All-Star race, visited Victory Lane in a Cup car for the first time, and oh man, that was absolutely awesome. And I'm hopeful we can repeat that here this weekend in Nashville. Now, Nashville, we are also racing this weekend in the SRX series, which will be the second time we've been in that series this season, and looking forward to that here on the conclusion of Saturday night. We'll be racing there. And as well, coming up, we've got a lot of exciting events. We'll be taking part in some truck races and more O'Reilly races here over the next handful of episodes. NASCAR's International Exhibition Series will be on display as well very soon, so there's a lot to look forward to here in these next few episodes. But overall, was not happy early in practice with the setup, so you see me making some changes here to the car overall, and would find some speed actually out of it. Now, the goal was a 28.3, and I was only hitting like 28.5s and 28.6s, but immediately we go and put down a 28.2 and would end up still outside of the top 10, but we would at least end up 14th by the time practice was over, which was a nice step forward as Denny Hamlin, though, top of the leaderboard here early on in this weekend. It's hard to believe that Denny Hamlin has still not won a race this season, as we've kind of had a big three scenario playing out here in season 2 between Christopher Bell, Kyle Larson, and William Byron in the number 24 as we come through into qualifying here in this Cracker Barrel 400 now, and well, getting right down on the inside line. Now, one thing that happened right here in 1 and 2, I left too much time on the table. I just did not get to the throttle as soon as I could have, so I knew immediately I'd given up some time right there in 1 and 2, and I would do the same in 3 and 4, just being a little bit too patient and gave up some more time. So I knew this was not going to be a lap that was reflective of the true pace in the car. And as we come to the line, yeah, P20, which I was pretty disappointed with that because I think we got a better car than that. So I just needed to be a bit more aggressive there on the throttle. But Denny Hamlin on pole position with Kyle Larson on the front row. Tyler Reddick rounds out the top 10. We round out, of course, that top 20. Ryan Preece will be starting on row 10 alongside him. Now, as you see the rest of the drivers throughout the grid and all the way down towards the bottom there, you've got JJ Yaley and Chad Fincham. Now we come through into Saturday evening here at the Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway, racing in the SRX Series. Now, of course, co-owned by Kevin Harvick, Dale Earnhardt Jr., and Denny Hamlin. Well, Dale Earnhardt Jr. actually racing in this event tonight, and same for four-time NASCAR Cup Series champion Jeff Gordon racing in the field as well for 18 laps, where after the heats we had lined up P10, row 5 here, and we have been very strong in the SRX events that we've done, but I was actually struggling quite a bit here this weekend in Nashville, unfortunately. So I knew this was going to be a bit of a tough task to even get the top 10 at this point now, as Brad Sweet was out to an early lead here in this race. You see Sammy Swindell sliding up the racetrack there as Craig Kinzer was able to get to his inside here. Sorry, that was Steve Kinzer, and now Craig Kinzer comes through, and we would get down to the bottom and start working our way forward here, passing Swindell now, and you can see up behind us now on that leaderboard, you got Tony Stewart and Dale Earnhardt Jr. both coming up behind me, and unfortunately they just had a lot more pace than I did. So now through goes Tony Stewart. We drop down to P11, and as we are slowly reeling in a few cars in front of us, including Jeff Gordon, Dale Earnhardt Jr. had gotten to the back of me and looked to my inside, and I just didn't really have enough to hold him back. Kyle Larson as well coming up just behind us, so we're going to have to watch out for him. But now here we are passing the 24 of Jeff Gordon, and we're going to be able to get just about clear of him down this back straightaway into turn 3. Absolutely awesome getting to race wheel to wheel with Jeff Gordon in 2026, but we clear him, and next up was Craig Kinzer. Now with just a few laps to go in this race, Brad Sweet was quite simply driving away with the win at this point now, as we're going to just barrel it off here into turn 1, and on the exit of turn 2, going to use up Kinzer a little bit, kind of force him to back out now as Kyle Larson, though, I'm going to catch the wall coming to 3 to go, and that opens the door wide open for Kyle Larson to get up the inside, and Martin Truex Jr. as well, even racing in the series to my inside coming into these final couple of laps. So we drop back down into P11, and that's where we would settle in on this final lap here. Brad Sweet wins the race here from the Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway as we exit turn 4. It's only going to be P11, the worst SRX effort we have had since we've been racing in this series. Obviously not what I wanted. You see Tyler Reddick, the only NASCAR driver actually in the top 5. Jeff Gordon dropped down to 14th as we now head into, well, Sunday evening. Ready to go racing here from Nashville. Now the sun will set. We'll be racing under the lights here from Nashville following stage number 1. And this is going to be an exciting one. A very unique racetrack Nashville is. There's really no other track on the schedule that's like this track. So that's one of my favorite things about it, is just how unique it is, as we are all fired up and ready to roll in our Boost Energy number 15 Junior Motorsports Chevrolet now. And as well, you'll notice on the roof cam sponsor, we got a new sponsor on the car. Jack Links is now on board with this Junior Motorsports team as a green flag is out. We're underway from Nashville Super Speedway now. 22 laps of racing in this first and opening stage as we start smack dab in the middle of the field. We'll have some work to do, but you know, we're just going to be patient and just trying to let this race come to us. And we have seen time and time again, of course, if you screw up qualifying, it's going to be a rough day for you, at least in the first stage. It's really all about just playing catch up in stage 1 here, and that's the situation we're going to be in. One thing I was trying to remember was last time we raced here last season, we have to be very careful about being 3 wide or just on the outside of somebody in general, out of turn 2, out of turn 4, because there will be times where the AI will just, for whatever reason, squeeze you into the outside wall. So we are going to have to be aware of that here. You see me taking it quite easy early on here, as I did not want to get myself into trouble. I mean, you can see I could have easily gone 3 wide around the outside there of Allmendinger, but I just choose better of it as we continue on. And as well, a change that has actually made a very positive difference in this career mode this season was changing the AI's fuel consumption, basically. That setting, by making that number higher, they no longer seem to be going 3, 4, sometimes 5 laps beyond what the fuel cell should allow. They actually pit around the same time I pit now, and that's making a big difference in a great way to the balance of these races. But now, lap 5, we've started to settle in here, and we're starting to make some headway now, and then working our way down to the inside, passing the 3 of Austin Dillon here, and then we roll up to the left side of the number 60 of Ryan Preece. One of the chase drivers currently is Ryan Preece, and we're just going to continue to work our way past him now. One of the things I was learning was turn 3 and 4, I could really roll the outside line really well, but in turns 1 and 2, I couldn't roll it as strong. So I was really, if I'm going to run the top of 3 and 4, I have to hope that I'm going to be clear into 1 and 2 so I can get back down to the inside. But we cleared nonetheless Zane Smith, who's having a very competitive run here today so far in that number 38 as we exit turn 4, and now already halfway through this first and opening stage. We are not far away at all from pit stops. We're in the fuel window. 15 laps to 16 laps is what you can get on an entire tank of fuel. So we have only got 12 now. We come straight to 10 laps to go. And at this point now, expecting to see some pit stops here from some other drivers soon enough, but we run down Austin Cindric. Can't run the top of 3 and 4 here. I mean, we're just committed to the inside as our tire warning light comes on. They're letting us know those tires are getting quite worn, and Austin Cindric was not making this easy for me. We would continue to fight to the inside of him, but yeah, I mean, I was struggling to get this pass done as my crew chief would now call us into the pits here at the conclusion of lap 15. So we are going to come in on the crew chief's call, and hopefully this is going to maybe allow us to undercut a few drivers. Now Denny Hamlin comes in from the lead. Several drivers, including Buescher, I believe, Reddick, Chastain up there, all coming in. Kyle Larson as well. We fly into the pits because you guys know the AI are just going to blow us away. So we have to do what we got to do, as we'll have a solid 16 flat second pit stop, and sure enough, by sending it into the pits, we actually end up pretty well right where we were going to be there at the beginning of pit road. So that worked out pretty well. So as we return to the racetrack, we are going to do the undercut. We're going to pass Joey Logano we're going to get the 2 of Austin Cindric. So there's 2 cars at least that we have gotten by. And as we come to the tail end of lap 18, after all was said and done, we're running down Chris Buescher for 13th, so a very solid gain here in stage 1 by pitting just a few laps early. I mean, literally 1 lap, 2 laps earlier makes a big difference on these tires now. And here we are to the outside of the Fastenal Ford Mustang of Chris Buescher down this back straightaway, clear for 13th now. Thank you very much. Denny Hamlin in complete control of this race into the outside wall. That's the 9. Chase Elliott crashes. Our AI, of course, wants to smash right into that, but that is a big hit to the outside wall. That was enough to where that might ruin the day for Chase Elliott, and that does end the stage. Denny Hamlin wins the stage, and oh boy, we're going to have some split strategy. We're going to pit. We're going to come in. I mean, our right front's already at 79. So we're going to come in. We'll take tires. We'll take fuel. We've already got the car as loose as it can be, and we'll give up 22 spots. Byron and about 20 other cars have stayed on the racetrack as stage 2 is going to get underway. And this, as you guys know, whenever something like this happens where you get this big shuffle, it is a wide open door for a potential split in strategy, of course, and what can happen throughout the race, because Denny Hamlin, who was dominant right there in stage 1, now is going to have to go and pass 30 cars if he wants to get himself back up front. And we got to do the same thing. I mean, to me, I look at this as an opportunity, because now the fastest cars are back here with me in traffic, and as well, it's all slower cars in front, so we can just do this. Whiz around the outside, out of turn 4, contact with Hamlin into the outside wall, and we knew that was going to be a possibility, and I just got a little bit too trigger happy, you could kind of say there, and unfortunately Hamlin runs us straight into the outside wall. Somebody was to the inside of him there. I mean, you could probably blame that car that was far on the bottom, but now immediately getting back into it, and I'm like, okay, obviously that's just not going to work. We're going to have to utilize this inside until we get a bit more spread out. And we're going to give a little bit of a shot to the back to the 11 of Hamlin, just saying, hey, I wasn't a huge fan of what just happened right there. Denny Hamlin in the twilight of his career, still seeking a first NASCAR Cup Series championship, of course. Now made the Final Four last season, didn't quite go his way, went Chase Elliott's way instead, and Hamlin, of course, still yet to win a race this season now. And look at the speed out of that progressive number 11. Hamlin is absolutely flying, and that 21 kind of crosses over my nose, and I had to lift there to make sure we did not come together now. As we come through to lap 5 at this point, Hamlin has gotten past me. He's as well passing Kyle Larson around the outside, and Larson's one of those big 3 drivers right now. Of course, with the 4 wins at this point, it's been him, Bell, and Byron that have been the dominant drivers. There's a bit of contact with the 5 as we split between him and my part-time teammate of Justin Allgaier and Kyle Busch, who continues to drop down the order. And Kyle Busch, not happy with how the season's been going, and not happy right now.
I feel like I have a 4,000-pound right rear spring. And it heats up the right rear tire, and it goes away. I don't know if it's real or not, but the back of the car just feels like it loses weight and just gets freer and freer. Like it just doesn't feel like it loses load, right? I know you're frustrated. I don't like running 30th either, but us yelling at each other during the race isn't going to help shit. Like, we got to keep the glue molded together here.
You hear a frustrated Kyle Busch, a frustrated 18. As, I mean, obviously things haven't gone the way Kyle Busch had hoped, you know, since he had joined Richard Childress Racing. And in that first year of joining Richard Childress Racing, we saw him, you know, win 3 races that year, and then it's been, you know, a consistent downfall since then. And, you know, 2024, 2025, and now here into this 2026 season. Kyle Busch earlier this season was in the chase, and he's continuously been falling down the points order. And with the way he's running right now, I think we're going to see him continue to fall down, you know, like outside of the top 20 in the standings. And it really sucks to watch, because, you know, I like Kyle Busch and I want to see him win races still, and it's just not working right now for him in that 8 team, and you have to wonder what the future does hold for Kyle Busch now at this point, and with Richard Childress Racing. Nonetheless, pit stops kicking off for drivers that did not pit at the end of this first stage. William Byron, though, he is yet to come in. I would expect him in the next lap or so. But we know, of course, the pit window is wide open at this point to get to the end of the stage. Byron, sure enough, comes into the pits, and so do a few others. And Joey Logano's got himself out front briefly until the 23 of Bubba Wallace takes over the lead. But now you see Wallace and everybody pitting, and Denny Hamlin stays out, and so do I, as I wanted to do the opposite this stage here, go a little bit long. And at the conclusion of lap 15, we're going to come in. Hamlin's still going. I'm very surprised to see Hamlin going as far as he is. I mean, he can absolutely do that, but he's going to give up track position. Obviously, we've already lost track position. The idea was, you know, hoping to be a little bit further up the field by the time, you know, everyone had hit the pit lane. So overall, I mean, the strategy has definitely benefited the drivers that stayed out more so than the drivers that pitted, and that's something we have kind of seen multiple times. And we have kind of hit a point where I'm like, now in the future, I'm like, okay, maybe when we do have split strategy, maybe we should stay out. I think that might be the better option, because I think we're going to still have some opportunities for that again throughout this season. Nonetheless, we are continuing to, you know, rally our way forward. And now here comes Denny Hamlin exiting the pits. We're now racing around guys that have a few lap older tires, so we should be able to pass them pretty easily, and we're doing exactly that. We break back into the top 15 and quickly run down the 38 of Zane Smith, nearly into the outside wall there on the exit of turn 4 with a few laps to go here in stage 2. Hamlin as well working his way forward, but Hamlin, clearly the fastest car on the track, is looking like he might not even end up top 10 here in stage 2. Meanwhile, we have run down Smith and McDowell, but to my surprise, I think what had happened was I had kind of burned up my tires a little bit trying to get to these guys. So when I eventually did get to them, I kind of got stuck here, and now we're just kind of with the 38 of Smith and the 71, and at this point we're coming up to the final lap of the stage. Christopher Bell, one of those big three we were talking about, out in front here at the end of this stage, looking like he's going to cruise to a stage victory as we start the final lap here of stage 2. Not exactly what I was hoping for in the second stage. I'm confident that we can still go up there and get a top 10 out of this, but yeah, definitely expected a little bit better here in stage 2. Smith is just going to run us right into the outside wall as we head down this bank straight away into turn 3, and that opens the door for Bubba Wallace to get up my inside and easily cruise through now and pass me as well as we exit turn 4. Bell wins your second stage here, and we're going to end up 16th after that crap there from the 38 of Zane Smith. Thank you, Zane Smith. Just, I mean, drove me straight into the wall right there. Now as we well pit for tires and fuel and get ready to go green here, and I learned my lesson on that one. We need to save our tires a little bit better on the short part of the run. So as we get ready for this final stage, Denny Hamlin, what is he going to be able to do? What can we do in this Junior Motorsports number 15? Let's find out, because the green flag is back out here. The third and final stage here in the Cracker Barrel 400 is underway, and it's going to be a 30-lap stage. Oh, wow, that makes it interesting, because the full fuel tank is about 15 laps. So that is going to make things very interesting, without a caution, that is. Now, we have seen, you know, stage 1 we had a yellow for cars right at the end that ended the stage a few laps early. Stage 2 was green from start to finish. What will we see here in stage 3 now is we're going to be, once again, nice and patient here. I'm not wanting to be very patient with Zane Smith, but I know it's in my best interest to be patient in that moment right there. So we'll continue to follow him on the run down into turn 1, and we're going to rip right up to the outside now. But again, I don't want to be 3 wide on the outside, so here we go through to the middle between the 5 and the 38 to the back of Hocevar. Down this back straightaway now, Larson has well been trying to work his way forward. There he goes into turn number 3. He'll start moving forward and now jump down to the inside and start to follow the HendrickCars.com Chevrolet, but Kyle Larson would drive right on through the traffic into the top 10. Meanwhile, we've only just now passed McDowell for 16th, now utilizing that top lane in turn 3 and 4 allows me to get alongside Austin Cindric, and will breeze past him here on the run into turn number 1. Christopher Bell continues to lead over Ryan Blaney, and then it's Chastain in 3rd, Byron 4th, Hamlin to 5th. With 25 laps to go here in this race. Is that enough time for Hamlin to go after Christopher Bell? I think it is, but it's all going to come down to timing and potential pit stops and cautions. You never know, but we are working our way forward. We are doing a great job here, charging forward now as we've gotten up to 14th behind the Jordan branded 45 now, and on lap 53 exiting turn 4, big run, take it to the inside, and this will put us into 13th if we can complete the pass on Tyler Reddick now, and Of course, still yet to see Tyler Reddick win a single race in this career mode. Hard to believe now, but we'll clear him on the exit of turn 2, and then very quickly run down the 6 of Brad Keselowski, jump to the inside of him, and this is going to be another spot here for P12. And just up front, you got Ty Gibbs in P11, another driver right now kind of, hovering around the bubble area in the chase format, but we'll clear the 6 of Keselowski and expecting some pit stops here very soon. As we come to lap 58, we still have 6 laps of fuel actually, so we do have a little bit more fuel. So if you pit right now, you might be able to stretch it to the end, and don't be surprised. Yeah, sure enough, here we go. Blaney and his Penske teammate of Logano come in at the conclusion of 58, so I think they can make it. Like, they're going to be right on the flying line, but they should be able to make it. Bowman comes in as well, still waiting for some news on his future in the Cup Series. Now, here comes Bell into the pits. Chastain, Gibbs, Larson, Hamlin stays out. This time I wanted to go a bit longer just because of the fact that I want the fresh tires. Hamlin pitting at the end of lap 61. So does Byron and Briscoe. Wallace and myself now are going to take the front 2 spots. And I wanted to now get ready to pit at the end of lap 62. We'll come in for 4 tires and feel, and we're going to have 2, 3, 4 lap nearly fresher tires than some of these drivers. But of course, they had those same amount of laps to use their tire advantage to try and put a gap on us now as we'll come in behind this Columbia 23. So 4 tires, fuel, here comes Wallace, and yeah, eventually we do get to go. Of course, the good old-fashioned wait for no reason for an extra 18 seconds as we'll head back onto the racetrack. Who's going through? Briscoe, Larson, Reddick, Cindric, and Keselowski, and Ty Gibbs is coming up behind me. Gibbs, something's not gone right there with the 54. He should have been long gone in front of me right now, but he's right there. So we come up behind Michael McDowell in 15th, and Christopher Bell leads the way. Now, Bell is, ever since he got that lead in stage 2, he's kind of been just in control of this race now, looking for his 4th win on the season. It's been insane that we have had, just mainly William Byron, Kyle Larson, and Christopher Bell winning the races this season in what has been a lot more unpredictable racing in this second season, it feels like now. But immediately we're putting our tire advantage to work now, passing the 54 to the inside of the 6 of Brad Keselowski. I'd kind of welcome a caution right now, to be honest, because it would get us closer to everybody in front of us with the tire advantage as well that we have. But nonetheless, to the outside now of the 2 of Cindric. This will put us up into P12. We are now coming to just 9 laps to go at this point. Lap 67, and as we come to lap 68, we are closing in, still almost 2 seconds off of Bubba Wallace, but the tire advantage should allow us to get to them pretty quickly. Now we got a crash. It's Logano. Around he goes. Caution is out. We are going to get a late race restart. It's going to be 3 or 4 laps to go, and everybody's going to be staying out, getting ready for the restart. So we're outside the top 10, but I'm pretty confident that we're going to be able to put our tire advantage to some good use. Christopher Bell, Ryan Blaney, your front row. Denny Hamlin's row 2 through 3rd place on the inside. So watch out for that number 11. He might have an opportunity to get back out front now. We're back racing now. It's going to be 3 or 4 laps to go. It's going to be 4. We got 4 laps of racing here in Nashville as we head down on this run into turn 1. Not a great launch off the start right there. Allows the 23 to get clear as we head through the center of 1 and off of turn 2. Nice run though down this back straightaway. The 23 of Wallace leaves just enough room right there as we head down into turn number 3 now, and we're going to rip that top lane, but obviously we know we don't want to be 3 wide on the outside, so we're going to have to be very careful of that as we give a big shot to the back of the 22 of Logano. And as we approach 2 laps to go still on this second lane, huge run clear all the way around, take it 3 wide to the inside. This move here could put us into the top 10, and we pass both the 22 and the 23. Hamlin is right to the back of the 20 of Christopher Bell, as into 9th place we go, passing Bowman and Wallace both now as we come to hit 2 laps to go here from Nashville. Chastain up here on the mix, having a great run tonight as well. well, as now Hamlin's moving up to the top. That's going to open up the door for the 24 Raptor Chevrolet of William Byron into the conversation, and that is exactly what Christopher Bell wants to see now as we continue on towards the final lap of this race. William Byron into P2, and that is going to hold back Denny Hamlin as Christopher Bell will see the white flag. Will be alongside Ross Chastain. 1 lap to go here from Nashville. Who's about to get the guitar? I think it's going to be the 20, as now Byron moves up the track. Hamlin's going to be on the back of him now, and Christopher Bell is free to run away. We clear the 1 of Chastain for the 8th position, and we finally break into the top 10 in the final restart. It was an all-race adventure to get here, but we did it through 3 and off of turn 4. Christopher Bell is going to join the 4-win club of Kyle Larson. Another Big 3 driver wins. Bell takes it in Nashville. We end up in the 8th position, and Denny Hamlin will go home empty-handed and disappointed one more time on the season. Now 3 Toyotas there, 3 Joe Gibbs Toyotas in the top 5, and then 2 Hendrick cars now as we end up P8. All Joe Gibbs cars in the top 10. Wallace there just outside the top 10. Hocevar 15th. Zane Smith in the top 20, Kyle Busch P21, Zilish in 30th, and all the way towards the bottom of the field, Suarez with a bit of a rough night there in 32nd. Let's take a look. And it's Joey Logano, Alex Bowman, the last 2 guys right at the bottom of that chase. And Cindric is out by 21 points, the first guy out, and then you got to go, and almost another 20 points for McDowell and Keselowski. Kyle Busch drops to 21st. But right now, Logano and Bowman in that danger zone. Ryan Preece not much comfortable either. Ross Chastain moves up a little bit further after a very strong day. And for us, we find ourselves there at 9th place. So not overall too bad. Chase Elliott with a big drop after a rough day. That's going to do it for me. I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you for watching, and have a great day.
I'm stuck in my head.